Cleaning up, feeding my little guy, blowing out the candle. Alright. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Act 1. Okay, so we got 3. New friends and former enemies. I realize it's a lot of dialogue. I hope you're having fun. I know that I don't have the most amazing voice acting skills. But so far, it's such a cute game. My shipment of infusion has finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fake crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with Fable's Phoenix chilies, I have 3 infusions now. I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they'll be of use soon. Ooh. Hey, it's Carolyn. Diplomacy is key. Did it work? So, Innkeep, a drink for me and this lanky pal. It's good to see you too, Carolyn. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you, I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not?
I'm speechless.
So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater at the very least. Dishwater? Really? Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud, more of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like a feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke.
And there are werewolves.
It wasn't. Oh.
Someone will die.
Of fun.
And of murder.
But no one died? No, Alfie here was able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does! I stopped you from killing the werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot. Give me the details! I think she's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of. I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Carolyn. I didn't. Was there by chance? They were both stealing sheep. Was not. Sure was. Adventuring don't pay what it used to. Do you steal other people's sheep? Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? How about at the beginning? Right, I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon of the quest fable. Oh, right, the quest. Traveling, there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Trigaron right around dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of wide fields and vineyards as well as see one farm after the other. An idyllic sight, well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness is darkness and I am no owl. Thank goodness you're already weird enough. Imagine the damage you'd do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay, I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer and I saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all my courage and I stepped out of the shadows and I said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought it might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. It confused me, all right. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? A polite person. Kindness is key. Kill them with kindness. Or an insane one. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a what? So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said again, please put down the sheep. And she asked, why? And I said, well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice. And she asked who I was. No, I asked, who are you? A guard? I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality and then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. And it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting and heavy footsteps, and I barely dared to turn around. You turned around immediately. Carolyn, let her tell the story. Let them tell the story. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow gleaming eyes. Gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. We need to protect the sheep. It's very important. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the werewolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, had an uneven print. Just the kind of stuff Uncle Dragon likes to wear. That old... Hey, why can't I say that? The censorship. Youth protection. The age rating system is quite harsh. Protect the children. Anyway, I was dressed like Uncle Dragon, smelled like Uncle Dragon, fought like him too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Haven't seen that old man in years, was coping about by joking. That's the only way I can talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant, fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually, he just left, ran away without a word, left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. Swore I was going to kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to get those problems as far away from everyone else as possible. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How did you figure that out? Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry. And hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But it got them to stop for long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. Jeez, Fable. I never would have done that, of course. But they must have believed me, because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary there, little pal. Thank you. I sat them down and I did my best to be an insurmountable obstacle between them. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That sounds rather dangerous. 'Twas. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop two angry wolves? Oh well, anyway. I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Carolyn and the music communication. Feud. The feud, sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dragon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. It's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we had known, we could have helped them as best we could. At the very least, we would have built a sturdy shed and scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. That only made it worse. Ask for help. It's very important. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things, or Vakakan things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure. Trying to avoid the moon. Trying to find a place to sleep. Stealing sheep. That's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep, too. Oh, Carolyn's been called out. But they had to talk about it. That silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that? The little stick is oddly persuasive. Had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Communication is key. Talk about your feelings. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Guess a hug did feel better than a great sword in his gut. A little blush in her cheeks. Wonderful. Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Yeah, he got so obsessed with a cure he can still barely control himself. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. But he has to accept he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. We have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and he taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs. That sounds like a bunch of... insert expletive. It's real. You're a crescent moose. Oh, look at the claws. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them, and they promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an ending, rather the beginning of something new. So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one? Exactly. I like that. Carolyn. Come on. So after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together? Could offer to spend the day at the settlement. But they don't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus Alfie was dying to get back here. Was talking about how they need to update you and everything non-stop. Would think they live here or something. I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Ah! Said something about it being for you, Innkeep. Oh, really? Yeah. Ooh. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. That wasn't hard, was it? Well... So, a drink. What can I offer you, Carolyn? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which I mean make me the usual. Strength never gets old. You got it. Let's give Mommy Werewolf, Mommy Vukaken, some Southern Brawler. In we go. And then we're gonna need a little bit of this. And a little bit of that. Perfect! Southern Brawler it is. There you go. Surprise! Not bad. You should do this professionally. I do this professionally. I'm a professional. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back? Like a swift strike to bring back... Bleh, like a swift strike back to my senses. I've had a stressful day. Night, morning, sequence of events. Swift strike it is. I love the shape of the glass. It's so funky. Alright, so we're gonna need a whole lot of this. It's got like a cool... Oh, I spilled. It's got a cool little like macrame holder. Nice. And we're gonna need some of this. And a little bit of this. Perfect. There you go, darling. There you go. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're going to pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent. It's depressing. Jeez. I have a room available. You can stay there. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. Later, Elfie. See you late. There they go. Sure. Oh, it's okay, honey. Are you heading home, Fable? Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Naps are important. Take a nap. Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did! It was scary and different from what I expected. And I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. Fable, you are charming. Have you ever considered that you weren't pretending? You did well, Fable. Thank you. I hope that wasn't my only adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day? That's a very tall order. You're right, I'm not cut out for that. I didn't say that. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end. Right. But if it does, you're the first person I'd ask for help. Maybe you should ask Carolyn first, but I'd be happy to be second. We'll see. Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such a calamity. Even if it would make for a good song. Or a sad one. Or both. I'm going to head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. I can't wait! See you soon! See you soon. Cute. Alright. Let's knock this night out. It's you! Hey. Is it dripping on your face or is it a tattoo? Good evening to you too. Oh, okay. Alright, Crop Top Man. This quest, it wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. Ooh, that's a cool name. Did the wind carry you in? But I don't think you got it. No. My legs. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally. Physically. Emotionally. What? Emotionally? I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle to get the cape. I mean, yes. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know of the castle? Yes. It seems strange. It is. A vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange, fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence, me too. You're just reading off the quest, my guy. Has she ever frequented your tavern? No, not recently. But she has? Once had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So she was only here at night? Yes. Would you say she was unnaturally pale? No, she had a lot of makeup on. But below that mask. Sure, yes. Would guess she looked pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? It's a great question, actually. Did you hear about the wolves avoiding the castle? Am I the villain? Am I the baddie? Really? All of them? Yes, she has a lot of werewolf traps set up, but all the animals seem to steer clear of Marrow Castle. They say its doors are always locked so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land in one way or another. There's a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for Jagoth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. Do you not sympathize with that? Thievery is an honorable skill, but it must be performed in secret. Where you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude. I suppose. Don't steal. Only things worse than that is stealing a man's hat. Not if it's cursed. Especially then. Point is, if you can't defend yourself from having our trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences. The consequences being you? Exactly. Definitely sounds like you know what you're doing. Of course I do. I am one with the shadows and the wind, gone before they even notice I'm there.
But I am the shadows.
So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right? Certainly. Gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills. What about some interior decorations? Give me some decorations, mysterious man. Like what, for example? Just something to pretty up my tavern a little bit. Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration. Oh wait, that's me. Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration. Like a chair? Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I'd prefer something smaller, like a little trinket. My walls are still a bit empty. I get to decorate. Wait, you're being serious? Absolutely. We don't mess around with trinkets here, my dude. This is cozy gaming. We need all the trinkets. Memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. I don't know what I'm doing. Well then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and the cape back to me. Along with a neat little addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No. Too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. I hear your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade them for? What do I trade them for? Secrets. Tell me secrets. I'm nosy. Secrets? I have many. Grant me one. I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before, just yesterday. You may not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy I spent hours just watching you from afar. That is definitely a secret. Dude, I saw you. You cleaned a lot of glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked so worried after that adorable green one left. Like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. And you're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. You may have one of my renowned drinks, stalker, and some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today and was finally able to unpack them. Infusions, intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? Oh! your purposes, I think you could benefit from either fake crystals or a frozen pine cone. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that hurt those trying to harm you. The fake crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible, eventually, and for a bit. The duration is a bit unpredictable. I've also got some Phoenix chilies, but I don't think those would be very useful for your situation. So what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of undead nature. Well, that seems kind of obvious. So I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. Well, that does sound appealing. Getting your blood drunk? What are you, an Astarian stand? Strength I can do. And some frost armor should help with the fangs. Or perhaps the smarter route would be to invade her wrath entirely. To out-stealth her and steal the cape from right under her pale nose. So that she may lie in the shame of having lost against me. I think such an approach would require a certain amount of dexterity. And some invisibility could help with staying unseen, should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision, Innkeep. Your wisdom is no secret, is it? I'm gonna go with... I have to be careful how they interact with other ingredients. I alter the drink in a different way that I have to use different ingredients than usual. Should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster's shape so it makes the correct recipe. Got it. Maybe infusion first. Okay. I'm gonna give him a frozen pine cone. Well, no. I'm gonna give him the stealthy stuff because it's kind of his jam. Oh, what? Did it not? Hold on. Let's give him a swift strike. Wait. Offense and defense. Swift strike, frozen lagoon. Because this one, they either want lots of this, a Southern Brawler really, or lots of this. Okay, Swift Strike. Let me see. Okay. Let's play to his strengths. He's a snacky boy. Oh, whoops. We want this one. That looks about right. And the infusion is of these crystals to help make him, like, invisible. That feels right. Ooh, okay, so we've got an achievement. There you go. A drink that all vampires fear. Garlic breath? Not quite, but that's a good name. May I steal it? You don't ask for permission before you steal something, Innkeep. Then it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink, the garlic breath? Huh. Good one. Tastes like, not garlic, but just as fearsome to a vampire. You don't find garlic scary? No, only the absence of it. That makes two of us. Hopefully this will help me evade her. I'm not prepared for a fight, but I won't need one if my steps are as swift and as quiet as the wind. And if she can't see me, goodbye, Innkeep. I would say pray that the sun will carry me back to you. But my hopes do not lie with the Realm Keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Okay. Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a good story. Farewell. Bye, Zephyr. Or for a bitter end. Carolyn! Oh, look at her big bow. I'm taking this quest. And a drink. Great, did you sleep well? What? Sleep? How was it? Ah, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up. Of course. My apologies. I will make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Seriously though, there is some furniture that like swallows you. Would you like a drink as compensation? Think I already said that. Maybe something strong that'll wake me up and keep me up too. Something's gonna keep her awake. That's what we're gonna want. It's her favorite. Southern Brawler. There you go. Something strong coming right up. That is strong. Just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should call this drink the Carolyn. No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest. Yes, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. Oh, the music is starting. Are we just gonna stare at each other? I see it's my turn to make conversation. I'm Miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned. It's been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I'm getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. Or ADHD. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire sunscreen couldn't get more reckless than that. It could by taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. I won't. So the saliva is for a vampire. Vampire sunscreen. Can a vampire get their chimera goo themselves? It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own quest, the quest economy would be in shambles. Suppose that'd be terrible for your business. Indeed. Have you encountered a chimera before? No, not a real one. Got me thinking, ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian? Depends, are you religious? Guess not. Then no. Would it be if I was? I don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time, and they were created to be the guardians by the protectors of the realms. So stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine. Good thing you ain't a priest. You'd do a piss-poor job. Thank you. Is blasphemy what you're most worried about? I ain't worried. Okay, nervous. Ain't that either. Then what is it? Excitement, I suppose. Excitement? Don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm asking. Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before, and I've always sort of wanted to. Why haven't you? Ain't exactly easy to find one or to survive one. That seems like a great opportunity for you, then. It is. What's it about guardians? It's less about the guardian and more about what created it. And maybe a little bit of the chimera. It's got a dragon's head, right? Yes, modeled after its creator, I would guess. So let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons and chimeras with dragon heads? They're cool. It's true. Also, when I was little, my Baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on their journeys. I'm not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them and all. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she left. One day she was just gone. I think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. I'd like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. Ooh, we got a rumor. At least she left her savings alone. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera? No, it was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those feline ones, different varieties of scales, even a cow one, I think, but never found a wyvern one in all her years. It would have been nice to be able to tell her the story when I return. If I return. I'm sure you will. You have to come back, Carolyn. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I make for a good baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So, you like dragons? I do. They're fascinating creatures, very interesting and very magical. They are fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little. Really wanted their magic and their wings. You can just ask them for their magic. Not sure about their wings. I ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic. Why not? I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons. A little help never hurt anybody. A little self-reliance don't either. That is true. Being self-reliant and asking for help are both important skills. If you say so. Does that mean you want a drink to pep you up, Carolyn? Didn't say that. I see. That doesn't count as help? It's prepayment for taking on your quest. Sure. You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions to offer that could greatly help with your quest. Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple. Alright, what can I get you then? I reckon a little bit of a boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be hardy for its bite. Some defense might come in handy. Or something for the brain. Baba talked quite a lot about how much they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I can outsmart it with the right play. But I need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea. You sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of a phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. That could make you very useful in a fight. Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one. Now on the topic of trickery... No, one is enough. Either you mix defense with your weird chilies, or you go heavy on the intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job. Figure it out. Okay, so we're either giving them... Make sure my camera's still in focus. So we need to give them either lots of defense. So this one inspires great ideas. So this one's going heavy on the intelligence. Or something with defense. Which one has lots of defense? This one's got a lot of defense. I feel like this one would be good because I want to use the infusion. We put the chili in there. And now we need to add a whole lot of this. And a little bit of this. Frosted Lagoon. Looks good. There you go. Figured it out. Thanks, feeling tougher already, and dangerously close to catching fire myself. Think I could almost take on a dragon like this. Let's stay grounded. How urgent is the sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends not to take a break, even for vampires. Maybe you should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems. Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Oh, I keep mixing up the voice, I'm sorry. Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Good luck! Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. Bye, Carolyn! Gotta feed the boy, sweep up the tavern, and blow out the candle. Another day of being the best NPC there ever was. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in seeing more of Tavern Talk, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. I've got a whole bunch of other cozy games like this over there, and I will follow up with some more as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye! gotta go to bed.